Welcome to Us in My Life. Love you and cause I love you so much. Oh, 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 I just love you. I just like help. I just like help. I just like you too. I just like you. I just love you. Happy New Year! I love you, say goodbye. You're going to school, and that's okay. Yum, 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 yum. I just love you.
Wow, what an introduction. In case you don't know, that is Ariana Stanley. She is a wonderful, wonderful, bright child. Her nickname is Princess, by the way. And she is the daughter of Mary Stanley, and her father, Andy Stanley, out in Medford, Minnesota. Land and the home office of one of the most astute, outstanding people that has leading the changes in the world to help children that have challenges like autism and other situations. And she has become an incredible resource for world medical and counseling programs, and I'm so glad to have her as part of the board of the Hope Collection. And also Ariana, by the way, she's creative, and she got together with Captain Len Kane, her admiral that's been nominated for 5 Nobel Peace Prize. She got together with Glenn, and they have formed a children's kindness campaign, and it's going viral everywhere you hear, all over the place. Different in the organizations, their commercials, big companies are promoting kindness. Do it with kindness. Do you know, if you're doing kind things for others, you don't have time to be nasty or criticizing. You don't have time to be able to do bad things. So when you get into a mindset of kindness, you're being creative in the world of making this a better world. And so I'm so excited, and that's who sang to you this morning. And so I'm glad you're all aboard today. It is September 23rd. I think it's September 23rd. I lose track of the days. We're excited. We were down in Florida last week. We missed many of you as we were traveling, but I know that the show was handled with a great amount of respect. We have a couple, and I've got some other folks that have joined this call today. And Tuesday is known as Travel Tuesday on the Optimize Your Life radio show, brought to you by the Hope Collection and the Golden Rule organization. And so, folks, what we do is we expose to the world. And I say the word expose. It's almost like it's hidden. But the reality is, if you turn around and think about it, if I say the word travel, that stirs something in your heart and your mind. It could be a trip you took before or a trip coming up. It might be someplace that you'd like to go. It turns your whole line of thinking and your spirit towards doing something you haven't done or doing it again. And usually that's something great, and it makes you feel better. And believe it or not, when you do feel better, you do things like travel, you help other people. You're going to help people create jobs. You're going to help them earn income. You're going to learn about new things, and God will bless you incredibly. So I'm excited. I'm not going to take the whole talk all day because you don't want to listen to me, but I know someone that you want to listen to. You want to hear from the wisdom, experience, and the revelation of the idea of how travel can transform your life. I can't think of anybody that can do a better job at saying and sharing that thought than, well, I don't know what office he was, but he is a former officer in the Air Force. Hello, how are you, Rick Reese?
Aye, aye, sir. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Aye, aye. Good old Navy term. Welcome back. Good to have you back. I know you had a good time.
Rick, and it just always, when you say that, I think of different, every day there was something that we either did or experienced, or we met, or circumstances that were they were like, I would say this way, we received and recognized little things that took place in the experience that really revealed God is still working in our lives and the lives of other people. And some days I'm so glad that he was there working in our lives because, the one day I lost the car keys to the car rental, that we had, and I needed to get, and the car was locked, and we were at a site for actually going on a trolley historical ride through the town of St. Augustine. We were leaving, couldn't leave because I couldn't get in the car because the keys fell out of my pocket on the trolley that was gone. New people came on. So, but when they went through and checked the seats, they found my keys sitting there, and they turned them into the headquarters where we're at, and I got my keys back.
Nice.
That just doesn't happen by accident. That was a planned process that was there to benefit somebody who was, maybe I wasn't so good because should have been in control of my keys. But you know what? It's a blessing. And the people, by the way, the gal that returned them to us, turns out I asked her, well, how long have you been doing this? She goes, well, I've done this for 2 years, but I go, well, what area do you want to go? What do you plan on being or doing? She goes, well, I'm not really sure. I'm kind of in limbo. I said, well, have you ever heard of travel?
What a concept.
And she says, oh, my goodness. Of course, that took another conversation, and we went down. So we got connection information. She's going to call us or go, all right, we're going to send her something.
Beautiful.
That's just how it happens. Another day, something else happened. We had planned one of the days we were going to take a tour. There's a cruise, a dinner cruise on the Halifax River in Daytona. And we wanted to go on that. Well, we could go on any days that we were there, but we had certain days we had appointments. So we set up to do the lunch cruise on the paddle wheel ship on the Halifax. And
nice.
It was beautiful. Rick, the weather was hot and muggy and warm, but it was air conditioned in the dining hall and everything where we ate on board the ship. And we did the cruise, and we got back. As we're coming home, these black clouds rolled in. And after the black clouds rolled in, the thunder and lightning started, and it turned into a horrible. We could have taken the dinner cruise, but we chose the afternoon cruise. And instead, by doing that, we would have gone through a rainstorm and not enjoyed what we wanted to do and why we did it. And because we had the early one, we were able to appreciate having the cruise we did. And it was wonderful. Met some folks there, too. You see, different decisions we make have different outcomes because we made the decision. And I can go on. There were many other things. And it was just exciting, fulfilling that we were able to do all the things we had planned on. And this trip we had, I got to share this. Thanks to you, Rick. We were forced to take a vacation. It's your fault. See, we joined the third team. And when you do that, they did a study along with the American Heart Association did a study that says, if you will, men, hear my words, men, but it applies to women too, but men, hear my words. American Heart Association says if you will, after study, you will take a 7-day away, hear me, 7 days away trip. Get away. Turn off the phone. Get away. Get totally away out of involvement in what you do 50 weeks out of the year, 52 weeks out of the year, whatever. Get away. You have a 32% less chance of having a heart attack or a stroke.
Wow.
So, out of that result, the company recognizes the importance of taking time off, vacation. So they created Saving America, Saving the Nation with vacation. And we have a program, a company that is a rewards agency that allows us to book a stay, 7-day stay, wherever we want in the world. And then there's different cities and all places and things, but it's a resort. So we chose, last year, to take this week in between the other things we're doing to use this trip to go on it. So we went down to Florida, and we stayed at the hotel we stayed in. It was a beautiful Hilton hotel. It's right when we walk out the door of a hotel and look straight across the street is the main entrance to Daytona 500 International Speedway. Right there. I mean, it's like 100 stories tall. It's huge. It goes a mile one way and a mile the other way. I flew into Daytona about 20 years ago. It was the last time I'd been there. And we got there was at night, and we were in and out of there. I never saw it. This time, wow, how impressive. And every street named after a racer or anybody was kind of developing the NASCAR organization and racing and that whole genre of entertainment. And so we got to learn all about those things, and we saw them. I'm just saying we stayed there because, well, we had to stay someplace, and the reward was we stay someplace. So we did that. It's your fault because I never heard of that. I never knew about that without you, without Serge.
That's too funny.
See, but you know what, Rick? Everybody that's on this call can be in the same position. It's not just unique to Luna and I or you and Brenda. Everybody on this call can take advantage if they'd like to find out about that and change their life. I'd call it, it's changed my life.
Hey, man. I was looking at something yesterday. In fact, it's right here. And I was reading it, and it was talking about how play and being playful is a spiritual activity. Travel is a spiritual activity. And the reason is it totally changes your thinking. It totally changes your mind, your mindset, because it puts you in a relaxed state, where you're still aware of your surroundings. So when you were down there at the Hilton, looking across the street at the Daytona, but when you were in a relaxed state, when you was on that cruise, that lunch cruise, you and Linda were in a relaxed state. And the reason why they say travel is a spiritual activity, because in that state, your mind is open to ideas. Normally in the hustle and bustle of life, people are like, oh, no, I can't think. I'm just going. But in that relaxed state, your mind is open to ideas. Your creative imagination is heightened. The spiritual connection is stronger. You may even find yourself just praying, or thanking God that you're in that place, and you're able to receive inspiration and divine guidance. That's why when you go on vacations, I was thinking about you guys when you went to I forget what resort in Mexico where you guys was on the beach, and you had the waiters on the beach.
That was at the Grand Palladium.
The Grand Palladium.
And that's Riviera Maya. I never heard of it. Rick, I was a history buff in school, geography and history, and I couldn't tell you. I never knew and never heard of, knew what Riviera Maya was. Punta Cana, never heard of that. Turks and Caicos. I can tell you on these places I never heard of. And now I don't have to worry about hearing of them. I've been there. We're going there.
Huh? That's huge. Yeah.
And if I can share that, if I can bring that to somebody else's life, what kind of relief? Because let's face it, our world is screwed up. There is so much stuff. I don't want to remind people to try to think about it. I'm just saying, understand this. We know how it isn't nice. It isn't good. But we know where we can go to make it good. We know how to spend time in our minds and our thoughts to help other people. You know what? It's like a happy camp. We love to enjoy people to join us. It's a mutual admiration society. And I like, that's what they call being a Christian. It's a mutual organization that choose. You intentionally choose to be kind. You intentionally choose to be open. And what fun it is. I just found out that we're going to have on the Hope Cruise, and the Hope Cruise recognizing Captain Len Kane around the world as the original Top Gun, as a man of, he by the way has just been renamed the Man of the Year Award from the Who's Who in America, a company that produces and publishes the #1 resource book of Who's Who in America. And Len Kane's been recognized as the Man of the Year Award in America, by the world also. He's been recognized as Man of the World. Why? Because he is, at his age, is still pouring out his spirit and his love and his willingness to serve. Those aren't words you find anywhere when you look on TV and the news and you see you never see applied to any of those people if they show anything else. You never see any of those words used with anybody to describe anybody in those crowds or those things where they're covering their head up and they're doing stuff, and all they're doing is destruction. See, we have a world I love. I love this show on Tuesday afternoons. It's such an exciting time. Doesn't matter what we're going through. I do. This morning I had to go do some errands, and they were, you just got to do stuff. It's like I've got a medicine, and in order to get it, most people, I'll share it with everybody. This one medicine, it's a diabetes medicine. If I don't take it, I die. But if I take it, gosh, it only costs $1,300 a bottle a month. You say, what? Yeah, but guess what? We do have some health care insurance, and we do have some other access. And we found out we called the company based on the circumstances. Guess what the company?
Well, I can tell you, the greatest medicine you actually just took was Daytona Beach.
You bet.
Sunshine. So having fun encourages us to break free of the regular routine of life, to create a more happy, fun-filled life. You was talking about the different places that we have been, and that's why I kind of like cruises. Cruises, when you have the different ports of call, and you stop at the different ports, and you get off, and you see the different places and different scenes from the different places, to try the different foods, and you get back on the ship. You have another fun time, and of course you got the Broadway shows on the ship, and the food on the ship, and the people on the ship. But you go to your next port. I love that. But as you mentioned, the places that you read about, in geography and all the sociology and all the different places, to actually go. How many people actually go to the places that they've seen, on commercials, and you see the Breezes commercials, you see the Sandos commercials, and all the different commercials from the different tourism offices around the world. How many people actually go? There is nothing like actually going and seeing and experiencing Jamaica and the foods of Jamaica, or like you said, Punta Cana, and all the different foods and all you could ever want to eat, and the different scenes, and the pyramids, and the pyramids there that they have in Mexico, but being able to climb the stairs of those pyramids and know that human sacrifice happened at the top of these, and we took my mom one time, and she says, I'm not climbing these stairs, and I'm not walking anymore. And she sat on a big old stone at the foot of the pyramids, and we went on an entire tour, came back. She was still sitting there and said, I'm tired. we came back, and we said, let's climb these stairs, But to know that human sacrifice happened at the top of these stairs, and like you see when you see in some of the movies, where the head rolls down, they chop a head, and it rolls down, and the bodies roll down. I'm like, geez. Go ahead, country boy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I didn't mean to walk on you.
No, go ahead.
I was just thinking when Ron was talking, I don't ever hear him talk about anything without him saying everything that Linda and I do in our lives now is intentional. But then when he first started talking, he says, we're going to expose them. And I like that because we don't realize that we're in the information stage, and knowledge truly is power if you do something with it. But while you was talking, Rick, I was thinking about old school days. They had a name for us. I used to call it a nasty name. They call us referral. Did y'all hear that word? Referral travel agents. And then while Ron was talking, I'm thinking, wow, you referred them to the restaurant, you referred them to the movie, you referred them to the car dealership, you referred them to the bank that you bank at, but nobody's paying you to do what we've been doing for years. In the country, Rick, they have a saying, it was so good, Ron, I just couldn't keep it to myself. I had to tell somebody. But now the company has put us on the platform. And, Ron, when you said exposed, Travelocity, Expedia, Cheap Tickets, Hotwire, Orbit, we've heard of all of them. But how many people out there in the world know they're all owned by the same two companies, that they're splitting profits in your fund? But then when I started to understand, well, look, they don't own nothing. They don't own no airlines. They don't own no hotels. They don't own no scuba diving equipment. They have a travel portal. They call it a website. Our mentor years ago said, Country Boy, you and Rick involved in this and Joel's involved in this. Set yourself up a toll booth, that's what he called it, on the information superhighway. That's what we call the internet nowadays. And all it is, you guys, is a website. And the last part, like Rick says now that we've been there, done that, we know better, we can do better, but we can't keep it to ourselves any longer. We're getting ready to expose that those companies that I just called out, all of them keep all the money. But now here's a way to where we can get into the hidden treasures line. You said it, hidden treasures. Hidden treasures. It's called the travel industry. I'll stop right there, Rick. Oh, wait, Rick. I had a question. A friend of mine listened. She said, yeah, I was on last week. I was listening to all these wonderful cruises. But, Rick, here's your question. There's some people out there that's never flown. I found out my best friend here in the country has never been on a plane. So he says, I love to travel, but, that's where it stops at, but I don't like to fly. I have some friends of mine. If I ask 10 men, can they swim, 8 out of 10 will tell me no, and they swim in their mama's belly for 8, 10, 9 months, and now they're afraid of the water. They don't want to go on a cruise. So my question, Rick, what do you say to those people out there that love to travel, want to travel, but don't want to fly and don't want to go on a cruise? I'll stop right there, Rick.
Well, having a home-based business just makes sense. Even if you don't like to travel, overriding everyone else who's traveling just makes sense. Expedia doesn't like to travel. They just provide a portal for people to travel and make billions. Right? Having a home-based business, and I got to say, you got to talk to your tax professional. But the write-offs, from owning a home-based business make it worth it in and of itself. Being able to, write off, different things. Ron just went on a business trip, down to Florida, Daytona Beach. Ron may say, I want to go on a train ride across Canada. Across the U.S., whatever it is, I want to jump in the car and do a road trip. Whatever it is, I want to have a staycation. Brendan and I talk about this. You could stay in a hotel just up the road from where you live, and it's like you're in another city, right? You're staying in the hotel, you're eating out at the local restaurant you've probably been to before, but it's just that thought that we're not home and you're staying in a hotel. That's a business trip. That's a business trip. You may say, while we're staying in this hotel, let's go eat out and let's go to a site that's close that we really didn't have, make time to go to in our hustle and bustle life. But in this hotel, and this is a staycation, it may just be up the road. It may be a resort just up the road. But it allows us to be creative, to do whatever it is we want, and to go wherever we want and choose whatever mode of transportation that we want. While at the same time, as I mentioned, having a tool that overrides everyone else's travel. Travel by the end of 2024 will hit $1 trillion with a T, $1 trillion. It is so important, and I can't stress this enough because I'm a living witness. to make a decision to create another stream of income, to create overrides if you have a tool of an industry, to have residual income coming in on a monthly basis for making a decision and doing something years ago. Generational wealth, to create generational wealth that you can pass on in your will to future generations so the checks don't stop with you. If people work a job, they go through the life cycle of a job, and then everything ends. It's so important to do something to invest in future generations, and that's what we're doing right now. So if a person says, now I get people saying this, I'm afraid of the water. It's like, hey, they got stabilizers on those ships. You don't even know you're on the water. No, I can't. Or I'm afraid to fly. I don't want to fly. There is so many other opportunities. As I started off when I was talking, I said, travel is spiritual. Be creative. What can you do to relax? To get closer to the Creator. To get away from the ego, of that we normally have on the job in regular life. When you travel or you do anything spiritual, that ego goes to the side. And now the real you comes to the forefront. Be creative. What can you do to bring the real you to the forefront? That may not include cruising. That doesn't include travel. It may not even include a road trip. As I mentioned, it may just be go up the road and stay at a hotel.
Rick, can I jump in right there one more time?
Go right ahead. Yeah, go right ahead.
It's funny, I asked the question, and it's almost like Shakespeare said, to be or not to be. That's not a question. That's the answer to the question. To be a blessing. Are you to be or not to be? While you were speaking, Rick, just this past weekend, I went 4 miles away to a place called Alpine Crest Resort in Helen, Georgia. It's a Bavarian German village right in the heart of the Chattahoochee National Forest in the mountains. Stayed at the resort, but I was swimming in the swimming pool at 1:30 in the morning. The swimming pools around here are closed. The following day when I got up, I had to go 1.5 miles up the road and park my car and jump out into an inner tube and float down the Chattahoochee River. Wow. So I was thinking, too, now, I didn't have to catch no plane. I didn't have to wait in no line. Instead of paying $289 a night with my travel discount, I stayed for $89 a night and saved myself $200. Again, these are the things that you guys are living, and I'm glad, Ron, that you made it Travel Tuesday to take the time and let people know that all things are still possible, to be able to go to a place that you've only dreamed about all your life, but then it gets better, more better. You wrote it off on your taxes and got your money back and then booked it through your own website and got travel points. This is crazy. No, it's not. It's godly. Back to you, Rick.
Well, here's the real bottom line deal. You can't explain something to a person that may not have a vision. Without a vision, we perish. Visions cause movement in our lives. And you have a hard time explaining something to a person that doesn't have something that's pulling them forward. When a person has something that's pulling them forward, they look for tools to accelerate that. If they don't have anything that's pulling them forward, it's pretty flat. I usually will stop right there in my explanation of sharing, exposing. If I'm talking to a person that has no fun in their life, is not looking for fun in their lives, and I let them stay right there. I don't even try to pull them. Now, of course, if a person has something, some light some glimmer of hope, right, then there's something for me to work with. If they don't have that, I can understand not flying. I got friends that don't want to fly. I can understand not cruising. I got friends. But if you're looking at opportunity to create generational wealth because you care about, and it really comes down to this. This is why I love Ron, Linda, you country boy. Your goals are bigger than just yourself. You know, your dreams are bigger than just yourself. You include others. And like-minded people love being around like-minded people. And that's what I love about, the Hope Collection. I love about Travel Tuesday. I love about the people that we're all connected with, people that are proactive, people that believe in helping others, people that believe in paying it forward, people that have a higher cause in life than just their own. Anybody who doesn't really fit that, I have little time. I seriously, honestly have little time. Because it's a train that's moving forward in the future, and it's like it's open to anybody who wants to jump on board. It's like, come on, jump in. The water's fine. But anything outside of that, like when I shared this business with Ron and Linda, and you hear me tell the story, I'm sharing a business. Next thing I know, they're over in Europe. I didn't have to tell. Okay, check this out. Not only that, when I share this business with Ron and Linda, they're booking trips for other people and earning an income. When I share we got people in the business that don't even do that. They don't take advantage of the career opportunities in travel. When I share this business with Ron and Linda, Ron becomes, the Vortex is the free link that you can give out. People save on that link, and you earn 100% of what they save. They save $100, $100. Ron saw that immediately and becomes our church specialist in fundraising guy. And he says, Rick, if you have anybody who wants to know anything about church fundraising, have them call me. He uses it and has an experience with it. And I'm like, wow, I didn't have to tell him anything. I just showed him a tool. But you know what? He had a vision. And in that vision, he saw the use of the tool.
Rick, I'm glad you shared that, because some people think that the only reason people do something is because there's a dollar attached to it. And that doesn't apply. And we've learned that money is not a goal. Having the wherewithal to do something is the goal. The goal is to be able to apply. And I heard a country boy say something to that effect, or you said it. But see, it's taking knowledge and experience and applying it to accomplish something. Now, we're talking about some pretty exciting stuff when we talk about all this travel and going places. And some people have never traveled. I remember we lived in a little town called Jamestown, New York. They had people in our town that never went to Buffalo or Niagara Falls. An hour and a half away, and they'd never been to Niagara Falls. Their whole life, and we're talking to adults, never been to Niagara Falls in their life.
Wow.
That's years. And yet, that's one of God's gifts to the world. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. And we've been there. I mean, we used to play there, for crying out loud, growing up. Well, the point is this. People are in need of many things that we can deliver, that we can become the solution. People ask me what I do. I empower people. Many times that's just a word. I don't make it hard. We empower people. They will empower people to do what? I said, well, eat.
Hey Ron, what problem did you have? Because you really have to have I had a problem. I had a problem of work.
Yeah,
I did. What? These folks are trying to control me. I need to be free.
I was in corporate world. Well, I was in corporate life. My mom and dad taught us to work hard, go to school, get a good education, get a good job, work hard, and everything was going to be okay. And that's a lie. It was a lie then. It's a lie now.
Oh, man. Hey, Ron, let me just say right quick. Let me say right quick. I was just on a call earlier today, and they was talking about how America, and probably not just America, but let's use America as an example, how, like you're saying, we've been taught, brainwashed, to get rid of our trades and our skills and go to college and get a degree and work for someone. We've been trained, and our communities are failing because all the skilled workers and tradesmen and women, they're no longer there because of everyone believing the lie, go to college, drop the trades, go to college, and then they're finding now that where do I go from here? People getting laid off have no skills, right? And I was just talking about that with someone on a call earlier today, and they had mentioned, and this was really interesting. They had mentioned that many of our communities are going back to what skills, what trade can I acquire, that can help me and help my community, and help me make a living. It's obviously not the stuff we learn in college where they lay you off and now you're toast. And travel, and you and Linda really demonstrated this even to myself as something that a person can actually pick up, and make money at. You guys started a career in travel and became travel agents and are booking trips for people around the world, cruises and destinations, and selling ticket packages and fake, different event packages. The person that you sold the event package in New York, I guess they were going to either the 4th of July or Macy's Day Parade.
The 4th of July package, yeah.
You guys are doing that, and you're making money at it. And so where we have been sold the lie, and of course I've got a college degree, I've got a graduate's degree, retired military, so I've got all the education, but
Rick,
people are stuck. Go right ahead.
Rick, I'd like to say you're all heated up. You got all those degrees.
I'm heated up, going nowhere.
Okay, listen. They say country boys got more degrees than a thermometer, but while you're talking, Rick, it's again symmetry in the people that you allow in your life. While you was talking, Rick, I wrote down in the country, we got all these country sayings. Y'all sound like two peas in a pod. They, on another day, they might say birds of a feather flock together. Last night we were saying iron sharpens iron. But let me let you guys in on a secret, and I'm going to tell y'all the secret if you promise to tell everybody you know. They told you and taught you that misery loves company. Truth. Love loves company also. Last one, Bob Marley. Rick, we went down to the islands, man, down to Jamaica, man. Bob Marley, weedhead. He says we're prisoners locked up in our own minds using ignorance as an excuse. I'm going to say that part one more time. Using ignorance as an excuse to keep us blind. The root word of the word ignorance is to ignore. Now that you know better, you can do better. We're explaining it to you how. We don't care if you graduated from Harvard or Yale or just got out of jail or got more degrees than a thermometer. Question, do you like to travel? Do you like to save money? Do you like to have fun? End of story.
Well, I was running.
Hello. Greetings. I am loving what you were saying. Hey, family leaders. You know what? I'm just listening, and we, for such a time as this, we have come. We have been sent. And I remember as a little girl, people was like, hey, welcome back. We love to see our people getting out being refreshed, bringing hope. If the ministry of help is in you, even as a little girl, people's like, you're peculiar, you're different. That thing was in me as a child. And so I had all these different people and came up in the South. I'm a child of the 60s, so I went through all of that, walked through it, saw all the stuff. And in spite of that, what was inside of me was so greater than what was my circumstances that I could not keep silent around people. And people were like, well, how come you're over here with these people? How come you? Because that's who I am. I didn't know this as a kid. I just know I liked people. It didn't matter where they came from or what they looked. I just knew I liked people. And if I saw somebody in trouble, it's like something in me would rise up. And wasn't even my fight. But if I saw it, I was like, I'm in it. Because that person right there seems like they don't have any power. And I'm a little kid now. Fast forward to this day, the ministry of help that is in us will go beyond our circumstance, beyond our pain. As a child, I'm telling you, this is miraculous. My mom would be bringing all of these entrepreneurial books up because she was huge in entrepreneurship, and her legacy is a lot of that in us right now. But I was listening to tapes by Earl Nightingale, a teenager.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
He was pouring this stuff into me, and I didn't know what he was doing with me at the time, my Heavenly Father, but he had the purpose that he was bringing us upstream, sent me off to college, ended up being quite a change agent in this college, and I'm just sitting here minding my own business like, okay, you said go over here to this school. I got up. I said, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. And next thing I know, door opened. I was on a plane for the first time in my life going all the way from Virginia to Texas. Why? Because somebody's life had to be touched. And today, that entrepreneur spirit, the king, has always been in me. It's always been in Glenn. And it's like there are people, and if you really, 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 really care about people, and I don't care if you got a PhD, because we had a guy in our team. He had all that stuff. He had about 15, 20 degrees. He was in ministry, and he was still seeking. He said something. He was a principal in the school district, going in here, opening kitchens to serve children who were coming to school hungry. He said, open the kitchen and feed those children. He was on our team. I will never forget you as long as I lived, Wayne Shepherd. What a person. He got in our team. He said, you know what? With all these degrees, I don't know that you're talking about right there.
Wow.
And he went and learned it. He went and learned about the tax benefits, and he was our guy in the meetings teaching that. But he was willing to lay all those degrees down and said, I don't know that right there. What a difference maker we had right there. Back to you.
Wow. That's powerful.
Chantel, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. Where do you live?
We are in actually DuPont, Washington, suburb of Seattle. Beautiful, just a mecca. Absolutely inviting people to come put their feet on the ground in the Pacific Northwest. It's one of the most beautiful places you will ever see. Surrounded by water, cafes on the water, houses. I mean, you can go from the Bill Gates mansion, which we just rolled by the other day, to people living in squalor like you would not believe, to the point of somebody got to do something here. Okay? This is where we live. Yes.
Have you and I and Glenn and Linda, have we sat down on a beach, at a restaurant on the beach, or danced in the moonlight? Have we done that?
I can see the picture right now.
Now, did we know each other?
No, sir. Never met you a day in our life.
What is the likelihood that we would ever be connected, even on this phone call today?
You're right.
Probably without God, none of it would happen. Now, the reason I'm bringing it up is everybody that's listening on the phone, people always do ask, in their minds they're asking, how do we make something happen? How can it happen? Well, first of all, I would tell you that it takes God. And I give credit to everything we have and give him all the glory for it, because he had a plan for our lives. And look at, I graduated from a suburb school. I'm the white boy from the suburbs. I go and I speak in, I'm a Gideon, I speak in churches all over the city of Buffalo, what they call the east side of Buffalo. And the first thing I always tell everybody is I'm looking out at the congregation, said, folks, you may not notice this, but I'm not white. I'm not black. I'm white. Now, they laugh, and everybody laughs at it. I say, but I've got flat feet. And if you can get past my flat feet, we can accomplish anything we want, because it's our heart and the Lord's love and his love for us that we can make things happen. The reason all this in conversations and the greatness that everybody, Rick or Country Boy, yourself, or anybody else on this call, what we've been given is a gift. But if we hide it, we lose it. If we put it on a hill and share it and give it to others, and then not only give it to them, those who choose to join us, they can actually surpass us. That in today's world is, well, you heard the thing, well, it's too good to be true. So many people are so honest. They've been hurt so badly. The system, you've heard about the system or the man. People are living their lives under a thumb of oppression. It's funny. The United States of America, for a civil war, one of the claims of that war was it was going to end slavery. And then we had the economic revolution, the industrial revolution, and now men, women of every ethnic background voluntarily go to slavery to live. They volunteer to go to a job where they get a boss. They're back on the plantation. And they want to get out. They want to be free. Do you know what, folks? We can help people be free. We are a solution. The travel business is a solution. It's got the money to support, and all you have to do is learn the tool. Like, Chantel, do you have a drawer, you would call it the junk drawer in your kitchen?
Sure
okay,
do.
in there, I bet you there's an old Ginsu knife in there. It's an old knife. It's like super sharp. You got to watch you cut your finger on it like a razor blade. I bet you got one of those in there. Everybody has one. They got one. And you know what? If you use that knife to cut a tomato, you'll slice a bunch of tomatoes. You can put some mayonnaise on there, some pepper, maybe chop it up or cut it up and put it in with some onion and some Italian dressing and some mozzarella cheese and have a salad. Oh, my goodness. You can do great things with that stupid little Ginsu knife. But if you do try doing it with a butter knife, you got a mess. We're trying to live our lives economically by using a butter knife. A butter knife is a job. It'll put soft butter on a piece of bread. It'll do that. It'll give you a paycheck at the end of the week, but it'll never allow you to be free. See, the Ginsu knife is the travel industry. We want to put it in your hands. Everybody listening to me on this call, we want to put the Ginsu knife in your hands and then help you and show you and teach you and give you the tool and the method to look at. I don't care if you need to pay your rent next month and you don't know where it's coming from. We can physically, and I can make this claim because I've done it. I can help you earn enough money to earn your lunch. Now, that's how basic, how far. And by the way, we can also make a lot more than that. There are people, in fact, I know Chantel and Glenn, they've gotten $1,000 and more. I know we're not making claims of income as being, this is guaranteed you're going to make this. No, this isn't a job. I can guarantee you go get money to put enough food on the table that you'll survive. That's a job. But it won't make you live life. It won't let you travel. It won't let you go places. It won't let you be free. But what we have is a tool to help you be free. Rick, I'm turning it back over to you.
I love freedom. I think that was my biggest. Go ahead, Chantel.
I'm with you on that. I think the freedom thing was a huge thing for us also because we were backed up against the wall. We had children going through things because our middle child had a lot of medical conditions, and they had written her off and told her she would never make it to be over. I'm 6 years old, and here she is 41 years old, and she had some serious needs and still does. And so we had to make a decision. We had to make a hard decision. Are we going to continue down this road of what you call slavery, because that's what it was, working 2 jobs, running over here, getting home, frustrated, not knowing how you're going to make it, and then you see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel because this window opened up and said, freedom is here, but it's on the inside of you. But you got to let it out. And when we made that decision, I'm telling you, and that door opened for us, and this lady came along and shared the freedom in this because we were already living that. Glenn and I were already living that. Our children were already living that. And we found out that if we took that tool, that we could help somebody else, that is what got us up, really. Because literally before we even got on the plane to go share with these people, we were gone for almost a month from here. We had already made $1,000, okay? We had not traveled yet. Is anybody hearing me? The tool was already working because we were willing to say, you know what, I'm closing the store back here. These limits back here, I don't want that no more. That's gone. Let's step into today. How many people can I help? Like I'm going today. How many people open their hearts, Lord, open their eyes to see you? Not me, you. And pray that prayer before we go out this door, or whoever joins me today, or whoever, any of us, somebody is waiting on this freedom that we have. And we're going to keep giving it away and giving it away and giving it away and giving it away, because that right there is freedom, not just for me, but for everybody who will receive it and apply it and just keep giving it away because it's in the giving. Back to you, Rick. Thank you.
I was working 80 hours a week in IT, and I think it wasn't an easy decision to make, to become, even though I had an entrepreneurial spirit, but to actually take the dive, so to speak, that wasn't easy because it was fearful, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if you can make it. You've got responsibilities, for a family. You've got different things that, require, your time and your money. And it's something new to realize that I can use a tool and actually create an income that can not only help me sustain, but to thrive, because you don't know. And I think a lot of people are caught in between. They can't make a decision, because of the fear of the unknown. They hear us saying, "Hey, jump in, the water's fine, come on," but there's fear of the unknown. There's fear of doing something new, and there's no getting around it. You have to actually overcome that. I know for me, I couldn't stand the fact that my bosses controlled me, and they knew it, and I knew it. Do this, Rick. You can't go on vacation. You got to do this. You got to do, and because I had no options. And I'm like, you know what? Everybody will reach that point where it's like, bonsai. They don't care. I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And if I can see the light over here, I'm going. At what point does a person reach that? And some people never do. But at what point? Go right ahead.
That's even magnified after doing a military career. Back to you, Rick.
That's even
Rick,
magnified.
I got one for you. You gave it to me, Rick. People don't know that they don't know. But here's the good part. Do not say no, N-O, to what you don't, K-N-O-W. Don't say no to what you don't know, because Ron said at the beginning of the show, we're exposing the travel industry to people, the hidden treasures of darkness. God says, I will give you the hidden treasures of darkness. $8.3 trillion dollars worth of money spent in the travel industry, and they show you how you can do it from home. I got a guy I'm working with him now. He's a disabled veteran, but he lost his legs. But he said, "Country boy, you mean I can do this? I don't know if you can or not. Do you think you can do this?" He says, "I know I can do this." Now we're talking. That Rick, you say you talk to them kind of people that have that kind of desire, that have that kind of hope. Ron, you hear that word, hope? We're over here giving people hope. Last one for you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. If you have nothing to hope for, you have nothing to activate that little mustard seed of faith that God gave us. Hope is the substance of things faith is the substance of things hoped for. Have you been hoping to go on a vacation? Now you can't plead ignorance anymore. Back to you, Rick.
I know, but even still, for me, it was hard to make a decision. Mm-hmm. It was, was it fear of failure? Was it fear of something unknown? But it wasn't easy to make a decision. I think when it got so bad on this side, I was like, you know what? Why sit ye here until we die? Let's go in the city. And I'm like, okay, we got to do something. Let's just go. But it wasn't almost until it got so hot over here that I couldn't take it anymore. And then, I don't know, does it take for a person to have to reach that point? Hopefully not. It did for me, though. So, hopefully people can learn. Now, since then, I've learned by watching other people and understanding their experiences. But at that point, for leaving corporate America, and we're not saying, do like we're doing, because, I just said, forget ya. I'm gone. Sink or swim, Lord, you got me. And the Lord was like, Rick, you don't understand. I actually am God. And at that point, I actually saw who he is for, who he is and what he can do for a person in their lives. And that's when I went, oh. And then at that point, you'll realize that it's not about you, but it's about purpose and the purpose that you were born for. And then travel, once you understand that, becomes a tool to accomplish the purpose. And of course, we can go into the power of prayer and all that, but that gets it even deeper. But see, these are the true sources of the power that we're talking about. Travel is just a tool, but when you have that purpose, you have that vision, you have that courage to move forward, now you can see what you can use the tool travel for. And, of course, Surge is, I think, the ultimate in the travel experience.
Wow. You know what, Rick? What's the alternative? And this is some things I'm going to be sharing with some of the leaders out here, because we can see some blocks in the leaders. And these are leaders. I'm not throwing stones. These are leaders. Okay, what is the alternative? Because hope deferred makes the heart sick. And if you're the leader and the body is sick, what are your alternatives here? Are you willing to sacrifice the body? Because I don't know that. See, I'm that person. When it gets down to I'm walking in this building, and these are my brothers and sisters, and, man, they're making me cry because they are so sick, and yet they're trying to complete this mission, but you can't complete the mission in that condition right there. You will not hit the target that he gave you to hit in your mission, in that right there. And so sometimes he said, come boldly and compels them, and that is not going to be, oh, I see you. Oh, you're not feeling good today. No. That's get your butt up. Get up, because you are called and chosen, and you are the leader. You got to get up. And let the people who can help you. We're not coming to hurt you. We're coming to help you with the vision he gave you.
That's good.
But somebody has to be willing to receive the message from the Marketplace Ministry, which we are. Back to you.
No.
Ooh, that's heavy duty.
What a way to end the show today, guys.
That's good.
Chantel, I love it when you come on board. You know, I out of the blue, I had to, anyways, Chantel sends a little message out when she goes on her walk. And she'll say something, she'll share something that I always have, when I read it, I have to respond to her. And it's something uplifting, and she's doing that. She's paying it forward. You've heard those terms. And she's doing an act of kindness. Guys, if we do that, I will tell you, God will bless that. And what we're all about today, if you've been on this show today, you are welcome to participate. You're welcome to investigate. You're welcome to join us. And I encourage you to do that, and we can talk again. I'll leave my phone number, but anybody here that wants to reach anybody that's been on the call today, my phone number is 716-908-2300. We got great programs available to help you, as well as career and income opportunities. Oh, and you want to travel? We can help you do that too. So, guys, have a wonderful day. I want to say thank you to everyone who's contributed to make this show a super success today. God bless you. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Chantel, Country Boy. I think Queen's on here. I'm not sure the phone numbers. I see a couple of numbers, new numbers, and I'm just not sure if Victoria's on. Some other folks are here. Just want to acknowledge we saw you, but you didn't talk. So we'll wait for next time you're on, and you will talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, folks. Bye now.